At the end of February 2026, we have an incredibly rare conjunction that symbolizes an epic new beginning for all of our lives. We will be symbolically stepping off a cliff into the unknown and embarking on a journey that will unfold over the next 3 decades. In this video, I'll talk about the upcoming Saturn-Neptune conjunction and do a sign-by-sign breakdown so that you can see what part of your life this new journey will be unfolding in. Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Fiona of Sun and Moon Calendar. I do weekly forecasts going through the transits week by week, and I usually do a focus for the week as well. This week there are two such big and important events. One is the eclipse in Aquarius and the other one is the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, and this is the third video I am doing. It's a little bit crazy. I won't be doing 3 next week, but this was such an important event. I feel like it needs a video of its own. To tell you a little bit more about myself, I am based in New Zealand, but this astrology is for the whole world. I make calendars, though at the moment they are still just for Australia. This is the 2026 calendar for Australia, and this is the 2026 calendar for New Zealand, and you can look for more information about them in the description below. This video about the Saturn-Neptune conjunction follows up from the video that came out on Saturday about the weekly transits, just the ordinary transits that happen every week, well, similar ones to this, but this video is a once in a 36-year transit, and it follows the eclipse in Aquarius. That's around about every 9 years or so that we have an eclipse in Aquarius. But the videos that you might particularly want to go back and look at is last week's video about Saturn moving into the sign of Aries. That I'm just looking on my phone to see what I called that. That was called Time to Grow Up. And then a couple of weeks earlier, there was one called Spiritual Warrior, and that was about Neptune moving into Aries. So that gives you, those videos will give you a little more background, well, a lot more background about the planets Saturn and Neptune and their journey through Pisces and then moving into Aries. In this video, we're talking specifically about the conjunction between them at 0 degrees of Aries. It is incredibly rare. This has not happened in recorded history, that they have met at the 0 point of the zodiac wheel, because astrology comes from the northern hemisphere and it's based on the spring equinox from the northern hemisphere, and it is seen as the start of the whole zodiac wheel, that Aries point, which is marked by spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. 0 degrees of Aries, the start of everything, like the first cry that a baby makes as it comes out, the first breath that it takes, the first step on a journey. And that is why I haven't quite decided on the title of this video, but I think I'm going to call it something like the Fool stepping off a cliff, like the tarot card of the Fool, and that very first step that you take, the first step on a journey of 1,000 miles or something, because we are going to be embarking into the unknown, embarking on this journey into the unknown. Life is going to be different after this conjunction. It will unfold slowly, but we're not going to be the same as we look back, even in 10 years' time, even possibly in 1 year time. All right. So just to say, I use Western tropical astrology. If you want to jump ahead to anything, you can just look at the timestamps and jump ahead to different parts of the video. You'll see the subtitles in the description. Okay, let's get into it. So we are looking at the Saturn-Neptune conjunction that is occurring on the 20th or the 21st of February, depending on where you are in the world, at 0 degrees and 45 minutes of Aries. Okay, I had some ideas about my titles for this video, and I'm going to share them with you because it explains a little bit about the feeling of this. So as I mentioned in the introduction, the title I probably am going to go with is something along the lines of "You are a fool stepping off the edge of a cliff into the unknown," and it is risky but exciting. All right. Another one I thought about was writing about your hero's journey. These two are meeting up in the sign of Aries. It's a sign that encourages heroism and individuality and celebrates physical feats and initiative. I decided not to use that title because it is that phrase, the hero's journey, comes from Joseph Campbell, and we'll leave it for him. And another title I've wondered about is Your Epic New Beginning, because it is an epic new beginning. Okay, so moving on. Just to say, when we have major conjunctions, they make major new things happen. And sometimes these can be very dramatic, like there can be very dramatic events that happen in your life or in world events. And other times, sometimes it can be this big one-off thing, and other times there's an unfolding of a big event and another big event, and they all add up to a new thing. All right, and I'm going to mention here three big conjunctions. One was the Saturn Pluto conjunction. That was in January of 2020, and we know what a big year 2020 was. COVID became realized this was going to be an epidemic, and by March that year, when Mars, I think it was Mars, went over that conjunction point, we had lockdowns and all of that. That was a very, very big year for changing the world order. These planets are very slow moving. Saturn takes 29.5 years to move around the zodiac wheel. Pluto takes 245 years. Uranus takes 84 years. Neptune takes 165 years. So when they meet up, it is rare, and it does symbolize big, rare events happening. So the Uranus-Neptune conjunction that was in 1993, that brought about the worldwide spread of the internet, and also it was the unraveling of the Soviet Union at that time. There were other big changes going on, but the internet was a really big one, especially with Uranus being about technology. And the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in 1989, that brought about that's timed with the fall of the Berlin Wall and all that meant with the West and the East of Germany reconnecting, and that had implications for the whole world. Okay, so those are just examples of how significant these rare astrological transits are in terms of they reflect very significant events in the world and in your life. And it always depends on what's going on in your chart as to whether points or planets in your sky are triggered and activated by the conjunction. But this conjunction between Saturn and Neptune, I'll just go back to, just going back to, yeah. This conjunction between Saturn and Neptune, that will be occurring in a part of your sky, in a part of your life. And that's what I'll tell you about in the All Signs breakdown. So just to show you what that looks like in the calendar, I've got the New Zealand calendar there. All right, so it's in the lunar month of Aquarius, which in the New Zealand calendar is represented by the albatross, because it can fly above and see everything. And it happens, probably can't see there, but it happens just a few days after the solar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius. All right, and this is what I wrote about it in the calendar. Saturn conjunct Neptune, a new 35-year cycle for the world and for the Aries part of your chart. Build towards idealistic, that's the Neptune, and creative, Neptune and Aries, initiatives, building towards a Saturn that are grounded and long-lasting. Grounded and long-lasting is the Saturn side of it. Okay, so that's what I wrote about it. So moving on. All right. So we're going to look at these three energies involved. Saturn is one of the energies. Saturn is about the boundaries of life, being an adult, being serious, planning in an organized way, taking life seriously, putting limits on things, applying rules to things, and restrictions. So boundaries, restrictions, and rules, duties. and responsibilities, being disciplined and working hard and steadily at things for a long time, and building for the long term, looking to the future and building towards the future in a slow, steady, disciplined, organized, dutiful, hardworking way, and living within the boundaries that occur according to your context. So this is one of the very key energies. Another very, very key energy here is Neptune, because Saturn and Neptune, they are going to be lined up in the sky. That is a conjunction. Neptune moves slowly, 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 and then Saturn moves a bit faster. You know, Neptune takes 14 years to go through Aries. Saturn's going to take 2.5 years, and then Saturn's met Neptune, and then it's going to go past. All right. Neptune is a very different energy than Saturn. It's about water and it's flowing and watery. Saturn will recognize time and do things in a sequential way, thinking about the time limits on things. Neptune doesn't want to know about time. Time is endless, time is eternal. Neptune is about everything that's eternal brought into this moment. Even it's our connection with everything that is in the world, with the universe. It's when we're like getting all connected up with our Neptune side, we are feeling at one with everything. There's a universal love, a universal acceptance of all that is in the whole. All right. Saturn is about what is real and tangible and material. Neptune is about what is ephemeral, mystical, mystique, and it can have a touch of romance and glamour about it, Neptune. All right, so I'll read out the words there. Watery, flow, and it also gaseous substances come under Neptune. Mystique and mystery, imagination, spiritual connection with the divine, with all that is, compassion, unconditional love and acceptance, escapism and retreat. Saturn is about showing up to what you need to do. Neptune is about avoidance and escapism. And we need some escapism in life. We need some romance in life. We need to escape into a great story or a great movie in life. Saturn is the one saying, no, turn out your light and get some sleep. Stop reading your book or stop watching your TV and go and get some sleep because you've got to go to work tomorrow. All right, and then the third energy here is different again than these two. This is Aries. Aries is like, it's so independent. It's spirit that will drive ahead and do what it wants to do. It's like a little kid that just, it knows what it wants to do. It hasn't got any inhibitions. It just goes and does it. It's direct. It's bold. It's the person in a group. You know, you've got a group of friends. The Aries person will often be the one that's organizing something for everyone to do, or just organizing something for himself to do or herself to do or theirself to do, and the others might follow. They're real independent cats. Cats are like Aries, independent, doing their own thing, and they don't really need others in a way. They do need others. Everyone needs others. Maybe cats don't. But Aries people, you know, they've got this great independence, or we've all got Aries somewhere in our chart, but of course some people have it stronger than others. They can be very pioneering. They can be the ones who take the first steps, the first bold steps into the unknown. They really are like the Fool in the Tarot, stepping out on this journey, taking risks. The Aries person is willing to take risks. They also love physicality, doing physical stuff, being strong. They admire an action hero. You know, Aries can be about the action heroes. So the words I've said there: independent, taking initiative, entrepreneurial, having gut instinct about things, not thinking too much. Saturn would be like thinking everything through and planning it all out. Aries doesn't plan all that much. They just want to go and do it. Being a fighter, because Aries can be very feisty and ready to fight. That's part of that, being willing to take action and not, Aries people are not passive. The Aries energy is the opposite of passive, very active. Being a winner, Aries can be very competitive, energetic, and pioneering. Okay, so with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, we are bringing together these three different energies, Saturn and Neptune in Aries, and that those three energies are going to entwine, intermingle, and form the energies of this great journey that we are heading into with the 36-year cycle. All right, so it happens every 36 years, Saturn and Neptune together. The last time was in Capricorn, as I mentioned earlier. That was in 1989, and that timed with the fall of the Berlin Wall. Okay, and you might want to think back to 1989 and what you were doing back then, and thinking about and planning, and what journey was starting, just beginning to unfold for you if you were born by then. And yes, I was certainly alive by then, but I can't really remember. I was certainly heading out on my career. I was very young. And yeah, I guess I headed into teaching after that, and that has been a really big journey for me. My life of teaching, I've done it in so many different ways in schools and things like that, and with adults as well. Uh, okay, all right, let's move on. All right, so we're looking at bringing together these three types of energy. So I'm going to go through some of that. And in your own life, you can be thinking about how you can bring these together. So Saturn has its good sense, hard work, dutiful, rules the authorities, and its very practical approach. Neptune is charity, compassion, art, stories, spirituality, water, and I could add to that wearing rose-colored lenses and trying to see things as being a little more magical and wonderful and romantic and glamorous. Okay, and Aries is about new initiatives, pioneering projects, and the fighting spirit. Okay, and I've got more about this stuff in those earlier videos that you could go back and look at. They have three different elements. Saturn is a very powerful ruler of the sign of Capricorn, and as such, it is about earth, very earthy, material, and practical. Neptune is about water or even gas, so very flowing. It's very hard to contain. How do you capture gas? And even water is hard. It's going to move and it's going to want to flow. And Aries is fire, and that's another hard one to capture. Fire that is bold, enthusiastic, the spark of life. Okay, so I was trying to think about these three elements together, and I thought about thermal pools. Okay, so I wonder if something to do with hot pools or thermal areas might come in. So you've got the water, you've got the heat, and they make steam, and then you've got maybe the rocky background. It's coming from the earth. That's the Saturn. So I was thinking about, in New Zealand we have a very strong thermal area, Rotorua, and wondering if anything's going to happen there with that could unfold, and we could get some clues about it as we have this conjunction or in the next little while. All right, so we're bringing together practicality, intuition, and an energetic approach. Okay, and then you also need to bring together how fast you are going to move. Saturn is slow, Neptune is gradual and misty. It's almost like with Neptune, things can come and go, and they're one day, gone the next. Like you didn't even realize they evaporated before your eyes, or they took form before your eyes, but then they can go again. And Aries is just plain old fast moving. It's speedy energy. So if you are looking at beginning something big in your life, some big, grand, new pioneering venture, there will be a combination of these energies and these speeds, paces involved. Slow, working slowly for the long term. Gradual mistiness, like some magic, even some mystical feelings about it, some glamour, even. And with that, some charity, because Neptune is cares about the underdog, the disadvantage, and wants to include everybody. And then a whole lot of speed as well, because we've got the Aries energy. So it might feel like start, stop, move fast, stop, go back, move fast, all of that. All right. And then bringing together how you move, so building slowly, flowing, and driving forwards. All right. So all of these approaches will be applying as we embark on this journey. All right, and then the ways that you understand life, Saturn is very practical, material, and realistic. Neptune is intuitive and recognizes the energies that are beyond what we can see, touch, and feel, recognizes that the achievement of earthly success, like money and reputation and career goals, there's a lot more to life than that. There's how we connect to the eternal, how we connect to the universe, to everything that there is, to the collective, how we are connected, like a grain of sand on the other side of the world, or a wave crashing on a beach on the other side of the world, or a person going through challenges on the other side of the world. That is part of you. It's part of me. Like, we are all connected, and what we need to aim for, of course, is that everyone in the world is healthy and well, and every plant and animal and the earth itself, all are healthy and well. That's the Neptune side. And then Aries, bringing the instinctual energy, plus that driving forward. All right, so putting these together, that is a winning combination. If you only had Saturn, you're getting a little bit too pragmatic and prosaic and forgetting about the magic in life. If you only have Neptune, you are just so unrealistic. Too unrealistic and vague, and too escaping from realism too much. All right. And then if you only have Aries, you can be a little bit too self-centered, like you're not thinking about other people enough, and maybe moving too quickly, and some of that Saturn groundedness could be really good. But bring these together, it's a winning combination. All right. And then bringing together the ways that you see life. I'm probably repeating myself now, but anyway, Saturn, realism, Neptune, romance, and Aries, there is a sense that the world is your oyster, like you can do anything. There's a confidence with Aries. Okay. So some examples. Over the next 35 years, and especially in the next couple of years, you might want to start a new charity, helping out others in a very realistic way. The charity is Neptune. The realism is Saturn. The starting the new, that is Aries. Creative projects that are grounded in realism, so that you are expecting returns, that you're not just doing this new business just for fun. You actually do want to have success in that business in terms of financial return. All right, so that's the realism of Saturn. But then being creative, that's Neptune, and it's Aries. Okay. Initiatives using water or gas from the earth as power sources. Spiritual enlightenment that is grounded in reality. So there could be, because Neptune has this spiritual side and this connection with divinity, people might be exploring different ways to do that. And I'd say with that Saturn connection, there'll be more stoicism, more recognizing of the divine in the ordinary, everyday, practical things that we do in life, like cleaning your teeth is a prayer kind of thing. The whole chop wood and fetch water idea. All right. And even fighting for the underdog against the authorities. I'm not sure about this one. Like the fighting for the underdog, the fighting is Aries. The underdog is supporting the underdog, or the disadvantaged is Neptune. And the authorities are Saturn. So somehow we need to bring all of those. Maybe it's a campaign to persuade the authorities to help the disadvantaged people. Like, so helping to persuade governments to recognize this group that needs some support, or talking to your town council about looking after a park with the trees that are suffering, whatever it is. So Yeah, I'm not sure about the against there. If you've got any thoughts about that, you can write something in the comments. Here's some other examples. Mountaineering, rock climbing, marathon running will be glamorous, all right? And I've already seen this. Like last week, my partner and I watched that show, it's on Netflix, of a guy, I think it's called Skyscraper. He climbs a skyscraper. I was laughing the whole way through that because I actually thought it looked like it was quite an easy climb for him. It was amazing. You know, he was incredibly high. I think the highest skyscraper anyone's climbed. But I thought, oh my gosh, I was laughing because I was thinking, this is so Saturn, Neptune, and Aries because, you know, one, you've got the skyscraper and the climbing. So that's Saturn doing something with rock, with hardness, with a building. That is Saturn. And the Aries part is doing the climbing, that physicality, and being this one guy, this one hero that's doing this on his own. And the Neptune side was, I was laughing because they were just hyping it up so much, making it so glamorous and a little bit over the top, bringing all these stars to comment on it, and having all the crowds there, and they were getting all into the momentum of the story of this guy climbing the skyscraper. Anyway, it was quite a good watch and it was interesting, but I felt like they really overhyped it, and that is Neptune, to over glamorize, over romanticize things. And I think we're going to see a lot of that, especially as, you know, outdoor adventure activities have become more and more trendy, and that's such a big thing that everyone's doing. That is even going to be more so over the next while. Thermal pools, as I mentioned, elders being heroes and achieving physical feats. The other day, it was so lovely. There was this an elder lady. She was, I don't know, maybe in her 80s, and she had a walking stick, and her daughter, she went out on the beach into the waves with her walking stick, and her daughter was holding her. She was wearing her togs, but I don't think she had enough physical ability to be able to swim, to get down in the water. But she went right up to, so her legs were covered, and she was just smiling so much, supported by her daughter. I thought it was such a Saturn, again, a Neptune and Aries and Saturn story, because the Saturn side would be the fact that she was an elder, an older person. The Neptune side is her daughter supporting her, and the water, being in the water. And the Aries side was her being willing to take that physical risk so that she could just go and do it, take action. So we might see elders over the next couple of years with Saturn and Aries, elders performing physical feats that are a little bit more daring. All right, sports heroes who do charitable work for refugees, that could be something, and using the tools of hard physical work and stoicism to overcome mental health challenges and addictions. While we had Neptune and Pisces, that helped us recognize the extent of mental illness to a larger extent. And we got used to, as one astrologer was pointing out the other day, we got used to using the word trauma and realizing there's so much of our inner psychology that has been formed by traumatic events or very, very challenging emotional events, and we carry that forward. And Neptune in the sign of Pisces over the last 14 years has helped us realize that. And now that Neptune is going into Aries, especially with that Saturn influence, I think that we're going to recognize the benefits of physical movement and even physical labor, and giving service in practical ways. Giving service is the Neptune side, to help our own mental health challenges. All right. So, that could even be, you know, when we're doing it for ourselves, it could be dancing, because, you know, dancing, you can work out a whole lot of emotion, but it also might be giving practical service to help people who are disadvantaged, or just to help people, help anybody. All right. And now just looking at the mini grand trine, which is that formation between the outer planets that's affecting us so much last year, this year, 2026, and going into 2027. This year is the peak of that mini grand trine between these outer planets. Again, just like this conjunction between Saturn and Neptune, it is incredibly rare. not seen for thousands and thousands of years, all right? So at the peak of that mini grand trine of the triangle is this conjunction with Saturn and Neptune, all right? And so this is a really peak moment in the whole formation of the mini grand trine. Such big times for our world, but we might not totally recognize it, some of it, until after it. But anyway, so Neptune and Saturn are in a sextile with Uranus, and Uranus is in a trine with Pluto, and Pluto is in a sextile with Neptune and Saturn. So there's this little triangle formed, and that is flowing ease between these outer planets. And Neptune and Saturn are representing this very new big epic journey. And Uranus and Pluto and Aquarius are going to be bringing in greater innovation, progressive thinking, unconventional approaches, and technology. So much technology. Even aliens might be involved, actually. Anyway, all of this is bringing such innovation into whatever the epic great new journey is that's beginning for you. All right, so we are going to get so good at different ways of doing things, unconventional, breaking out of old patterns. Yeah. So now we're going to look at the Saturn-Neptune conjunction sign by sign and look at where this great big new journey, this epic new start, and these long-term pioneering projects, the part of life that might be affecting you in. So listen mostly for your rising sign, if you know it, or if you know your time of birth, and you can look that up. If it's your sun sign, that might be more about your expression in the world, your career, your creative expression, your soul. But the rising sign I find to be the most accurate. If it's about your moon sign, that can be about how you feel about things. Okay, so let's get into it. And we're going to start from Aries. If you are Aries, sun, moon, or rising, but especially Aries rising, on the 20th or the 21st of February, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction takes place. That is an epic new beginning and a journey that will unfold over the next 36 years. It's at 0 degrees of your sign, Aries. This is your first house, all right? So this is everything about you, Aries. Your whole life is changing, everything, because from the first house you can see all parts of your life, your career moving ahead, your relationships changing, you yourself changing so much, your home and family, your neighborhood, friendship groups, everything. All right, it's a very big new beginning for you. You will be changing within yourself, and that change will emanate out to all parts of your life, and it will also be how you see the other parts of your life. Saturn is the ruler of your 11th house, so there also might be, and you might even notice at the time of the conjunction, something coming in and over the next 2 years with Saturn to do with your friendship groups, your rewards from work, and your long-term goals. But certainly your long-term goals will be shaken up and developing, and you'll be starting out on some new long-term goals for sure. Neptune is the ruler of your 12th house, and so in some ways over the next 14 years some dreaminess will be coming into you. All right, so you're a person who likes to take action, and Saturn's going to make you very practical for the next 2 years and have to be very realistic. But Neptune is also going to be bringing this dreamy, creative, mystical, maybe even more of a spiritual side, and you might be thinking more about others and how you can take action to help people with unconditional love. And then in a practical form, that could be charitable work. All right. But mostly this is just some really big, epic new start for your life, Aries, for over the next 36 years. And it's going to be amazing. So all the best for that. And please like, comment, or subscribe if you like this video. If you are Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, but especially Taurus rising, Saturn is going to meet up with Neptune in this great and rare conjunction on the 20th or the 21st of February. This is your 12th house. It's at 0 degrees of Aries, so it's a very big new beginning, but it's your 12th house, so this could be kind of hidden. All right. It could be a new start for you in terms of travel, because the 12th house can be about traveling to foreign places, being away from your normal life. And that could especially be the case because Saturn is the ruler of your ninth house of travel, actually, because so the 12th and the ninth both have to do with travel and going overseas. There also could be connections with other cultures, and your long-term goals might develop because Neptune is the ruler of your 11th house, and there might be something to do with groups of people. But mostly this is some big new beginning for you in a private way. It might be the beginning of a time where you're dealing with rest homes or get involved with a place of retreat. Maybe you decide that for the next 30 years or a large part of that, you want to go and start a life way out in the bush. You're out of the normal world, or maybe you start doing work that is hidden from the world in some way. This could be a new development in your creative life that's kind of away from everyone else. You're not really sharing it too much, or a development in your spirituality and how you connect with divinity. You might get just really quite dreamy and mystical, but then being really practical and grounded about it as well over the next 30 years, actually. So all the best for that, Taurus. This is hidden away, and it could well be to do with connections with places, hospitals or care homes that are not part of the main hubbub and the wheel of life, and you're not so much seen in the world. All right, don't worry, you'll still be seen in the world because your planet Venus is still going to be going around and about the world, and you're still going to be enjoying your life, but there's some big new and perhaps a kind of private journey. So all the best for that, Taurus, and please like, comment or subscribe if you like this video. If you are Gemini, Sun, Moon or Rising, but especially Gemini Rising, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, this great and rare get together of these two, is happening on the 20th or the 21st of February at 0 degrees of Aries, and that is in your 11th house. This could mean a great new epic beginning for your long-term goals. All right, so you might be changing those up, feeling like you're starting on a new big pioneering goal, maybe something you've never thought of before. It also can be about friendship groups. So there might be a whole new journey with your friendship groups, a new approach, new groups, new people to connect with, or new organizations to connect with. All right. And it also can be about your rewards from work, especially as Neptune is the ruler of your 10th house of career. There could even be some kind of transformation that comes, like a deep, even a psychological crisis. Saturn rules your 8th house, and so there could be something where you have to go into your deep layers to explore in order to move forward. Something that might happen, but mostly this is about a great and epic new beginning in your house of long-term goals, uh, rewards from your career, like your income or your promotions or your status or other perks, and the connections with groups of people that you have. Okay, so all the best for that, Gemini. Please like, comment, or subscribe if you like this video, and all the best. If you are Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, but especially Cancer Rising, on the 20th or 21st of February, Saturn is meeting Neptune in their big conjunction. That's a really significant moment in your life and for the world. It's at 0 degrees of Aries, Cancer. That is your 10th house. This is a house of your career and your public reputation in the world, and it could mean that there is some great new beginning in your career, a new career path, a new project that's very big and long term, and it will because this is such a, it's a generational, it's going to be 36 years of this journey of before they meet up again. And it could be that this is something about your legacy, because ultimately your career house is about the legacy that you want to leave behind for the world. Like when you are gone, what do you want to have built up to leave behind to benefit others going into the future. And those kind of big questions might be coming up. You might be thinking about that consciously or even just unconsciously. That's what will come out of this journey, that actually there's some big picture stuff behind it. It's not just about another job or a promotion or a new project. There's something to do with a legacy that you want to leave behind for future generations, Cancer. All right. Saturn is the ruler of your 7th house, so there might be some involvement with a partner, a business partner, or a life partner. And Neptune is the ruler of the 9th, so there might be some travel involved with this. Or some spirituality, even some belief system or religion, or some higher learning. Maybe you need to go to university to develop some skills for this new career journey. But mostly the focus is on your career and a great new story unfolding over the next 3 decades. So all the best for that, Cancer. Please like, comment, or subscribe if you like this video, and good luck. If you are Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, but especially Leo Rising, on the 20th or 21st of February, Saturn meets up with Neptune for this amazingly rare conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries. This is your 9th house, Leo. This is the house. So there's some new big epic journey unfolding, a new great grand project and story for your life in the area of your travel overseas, your connections with people from other cultures, and also belief systems like your religion or your spiritual practice, your systems of spiritual practice, also your philosophy of life. And also this could be about higher learning. You might be setting out on some big new journey with university learning, or setting out on doing a PhD, something like that, or it could be following a guru or a new type of spiritual belief system. All right. Saturn is the ruler of your 6th, and I've already mentioned in the explanations that, with Neptune, there can be a lot of spirituality involved with this, and also the stoicism, the sort of more practical kind of religious practice. And especially as Saturn is the ruler of your 6th house, so that is a house of your daily routines, all those things that we have to do to keep life running in order and stay healthy, like doing your exercises and all of that. And Neptune is the ruler of your 8th house, so this could bring in factors to do with shared resources with your partner, or some deep psychological layers to explore and understand. But mostly this is about your 9th house, your house of travel and adventure and other cultures. This can also be outdoor adventure stuff, higher learning, the meaning of life. What is the meaning of life for you, Leo? All of this is a big new journey that will be unfolding. So all the best for that. And please like, comment, or subscribe if you like this video. If you are Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, but especially Virgo Rising, on the 20th or the 21st of February, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction is happening in your 8th house at 0 degrees of Aries. The 8th house is a house of psychological transformation that can happen through a crisis. It could be to do with very deep and not always easy, but very, very empowering exploration of your deep psychological layers. And you might end up doing some counseling, or you might end up training to be a counselor over the next 30 years, Virgo. All right. The 8th house is also about shared resources with a partner. So this could be to do with actually any kinds of large amounts of money that you don't have instant access to them, but to this money, but it's to do with you, like investments or your partner's money, like I said, or taxes, inheritances, stuff like that. So there could be some developments that happen there. Maybe you get into exploring new ways of investing, and it's actually quite significant in your life because this is a big and important journey. All right. Saturn is the ruler of your 5th house, and Neptune is the ruler of your seventh, all right? So the fifth house, that might bring something to do with your children involved in this journey through the eighth house. Maybe this journey into your psychological layers and exploring things to do with childhood and your children. And there might be some involvement with your partner. Because it's your eighth house, that's to do with shared resources with your partner. Also intimacy, deep intimacy with your partner. Not just like fun lovemaking, but actually deep intimacy, all right? Which can be the physical intimacy as well, but on a very deep connected level. And the eighth house is underlying everything with the eighth house. It's to do with power, because ultimately power is to do with resources. That's the money side of things. And power is to do with how you are driven by power, how power sits in you. Like, are you empowered? And what are your deep motivations and fears and motivations? So it's not just all negative fears. It's also, what is your strength, your very deep inner strength? So exploring those psychological layers could be really helpful, and you might feel just called to do it anyway, Virgo. So all the best for that, and please like, comment or subscribe if you like this video. If you are Libra, Sun, Moon or Rising, but especially Libra Rising, on the 20th or the 21st of February, Saturn and Neptune are having their great grand conjunction in the sign of Aries at 0 degrees of Aries. Libra, this is your 7th house of partnership. So this is some big new journey developing for you in partnership, or in the way that you do partnership, or for your partner themselves. And by partner, this could be anyone that you do a lot with on a one-to-one basis. It could be a business partner. It could be somebody that you spend a lot of time with and you're planning and doing things together one-to-one, or it's most likely to be an intimate partner. It could be that relationship develops out of this. Okay, so it's a committed partnership. It's not so much dating, it's a committed partnership. All right. Saturn is the ruler of your 4th house of home and family, so there could be some developments there in terms of like your home, family, the people you live with, or properties that you own. They could come into play with all of this. And Neptune is the ruler of the 6th house. So it could be like you're moving in with a partner. That's involving the home, it's involving partnership. And the sixth house is about daily life and daily routines. So maybe you're doing your daily routines together. It could also be because the 6th house is also about how you give service in the world, and it could be that there's some big new project that you and a partner are doing where you're giving service, practical service to help people in the world, all right? Some kind of service, all right? Whatever it is, there's some great new beginning for you in the area of partnership, Libra. So all the best for that, and please like, comment or subscribe if you like this video. If you are Scorpio, Sun, Moon or Rising, but especially Scorpio Rising, on the 20th or the 21st of February 2026, we have that epic new beginning with Saturn and Neptune meeting in a conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries, and that is in your 6th house, Scorpio. This is a house where you give service in the world, and it's especially important with Neptune being part of it, because Neptune likes to help the underdog and disadvantaged and give service and give unconditional care to people. And also Saturn likes to be really practical about it. So some great new beginning for giving service, but also the 6th house is about health, and it's about your daily routines for health. It's about looking after your nutrition, doing daily exercise. It's also about how you organize your life, your daily routines, and keeping things in order. All right, so Saturn will help with that because it's very practical. And Neptune might help a bit of romance come into that area. But whatever it is, there's some great new beginning in that 6th house, a great new set of routines or system for doing things in a clean, tidy, organized manner in your life. Maybe you have just a complete overhaul of your daily life and you set about with discipline and idealism with it. or maybe it is a great, new, wonderful way, practical way, pragmatic way to give service in the world. It could be a new job because of that giving service side of it. And the sixth house can also be about your daily work. All right. Saturn rules the third house, so there could be something involved to do with commuting or moving around your community, something to do with neighborhoods or schools. It could be a new teaching job. That's how you give service. And Neptune is the ruler of your fifth, so it might actually bring in some fun, creative projects into that sixth house and giving service in a way. Maybe it's you're doing a big art project that helps people in some way, for example, but mostly it's about that sixth house of being in order in your life and giving service in the world and your daily work and routines. So all the best for that, Scorpio, and please like, comment or subscribe if you like this video. If you are Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, but especially Sagittarius Rising, the great grand Saturn-Neptune conjunction on the 20th or the 21st of February 2026 is happening in your fifth house. Oh, that's nice. It's at 0 degrees of Aries, so it's very potent. Your fifth house is about your children. It's about your creative projects, your creative self-expression, even entrepreneurial projects. It's about fun, and it's also about dating and romance. So this is an awesome house to have this great new beginning in. Maybe you have a child, so you are setting out on the great grand journey of parenthood, or maybe you have a new partner that comes in, or the fifth house is a house of dating, so it might become a committed relationship, but you and your partner might do fun, creative, playful things together for all of that time. All right. Saturn is the ruler of your second, so that might bring in something about finances and your money and your sense of self-worth. So maybe you start a creative project that's actually, you decide to make it entrepreneurial and you're getting some money for that, all right, and hopefully a good amount of money. Neptune is the ruler of your fourth house, so this is another one that it could mean about parenthood, because the fourth house is about your home and your family of origin, and you have children and you're continuing that line of origin, but mostly this energy is in your fifth house. It is a lucky house, Sagittarius, so I expect this to be an exciting, it's going to have its ups and downs, of course it is, and Saturn in your fifth house is going to bring restrictions to your fun and rules and boundaries, but overall, there's a wonderful, epic journey unfolding in that house of playful fun, creative projects, children, and romance. So all the best for that, Sagittarius, and please like, comment, or subscribe if you like this video. If you are Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, but especially Capricorn Rising, on the 20th or the 21st of February 2026, Saturn is meeting up with Neptune in this great grand conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries. And Capricorn, that is signaling an epic new journey beginning for you in your fourth house of home and family of origin, your ancestral roots, your grandparents even, your ancestors. And it could also be properties or the people that you live with. So some great new beginning, new journey that's going to be developing over the next 36 years, all right? And Saturn is your ruler, Capricorn, so you might really be tied in with this, like really feeling identified with whatever this is, and not seeing it from a distance so much, but really you're part of it, feeling very strongly connected with it, all right? And Neptune is the ruler of your third house, so that might bring something in to do with neighborhoods. Maybe you're moving to a whole new neighborhood and community, and that could bring about new community connections, and that could be really cool, and it could feel like a home for you, all right? So, but mostly it's this journey for your fourth house and your home, your family of origin. So let us see what unfolds, Capricorn. All the best for that, and please like, comment, or subscribe if you like this video. If you are Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, but especially Aquarius Rising, on the 20th or the 21st of February 2026, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction will be occurring, this great, grand, epic new start A big journey unfolding over the next 36 years, starting from 0 degrees of Aries, and that is your third house, Aquarius. The third house is the house of your neighborhood, the house of your community connections, how you move around your neighborhood. Do you walk? Do you bike? Do you drive? Do you take public transport? And how do you connect with your neighbors? The third house can also be about small business, social networking. It can also be about your relations, your brothers and sisters, your aunties, uncles, cousins, and so on. All right. Saturn is the ruler of your 12th house, and it's your own ruler as well. It's your ancient ruler, Aquarius. All right. So, with that 12th house influence, there could be maybe in your neighborhood you start meeting people from other countries so that you have a connection from overseas, or maybe in your neighborhood there's a connection with care homes or hospitals or places of retreat of some kind, even a retreat center in your neighborhood, living next door to it or something. And Neptune is the ruler of your second house, so this could be bringing in something to do with money, your material possessions, your sense of self-worth, your finances, all right? But mostly it's about your third house, so some great new epic beginning for your relations, your cousins, your brothers and sisters, or your neighborhood. And I will also mention the third house is about learning. So it might be a great new journey into learning a skill like woodworking craft, like wood turning or knitting or crochet. I've got a friend who, this is a lovely neighborhood thing she does. There's a coffee cart across the road from where she lives, and a whole lot of the neighbors meet up and next to the coffee cart and do knitting together. This is the kind of thing that could happen. It's a third house thing. It's a handcraft and it's very, very neighborly. All right. So all the best for that, Aquarius. Actually, she's an Aquarius rising now that I think about it. So that journey of the knitting in the coffee cart could unfold into a big, new, longer, bigger story for her. Something like that. All the best, and please like, comment, or subscribe if you like this video. If you are Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, but especially Pisces Rising, on the 20th or 21st of February, there is a great, grand, epic new beginning in your second house as Saturn and Neptune meet in their conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries. The second house is going to symbolize your journey in life, the part of life to do with your finances and your money, Pisces. Actually, I'm a Pisces as well, so this is me too. All right. So our money, our finances, our possessions, our resources, what we need, the material things that we need to support our journey through life. This also has to do with a sense of self-worth, all right? Because if we value ourselves, then our possessions and our finances are going to reflect that. So there's a big, big new beginning. It could be that we're taking initiatives to earn income in different ways, or just one big grand new initiative, and that will be unfolding over the next 30 years, 36 years, all right? Saturn is the ruler of our 11th house, so that also has to do with long-term goals, friendship groups, and rewards from work. So these topics could be playing a part in it. And Neptune is our modern ruler, Pisces. So we are kind of like identified there, and we're going to be bringing that kind of creative, spiritual, artistic, dreamy side, and perhaps some of the charity and empathy and compassion that can come with Neptune into this area of the second house. So it might be a project that's very creative, that brings finances and helps us grow our self-worth. So all the best for that, Pisces. Please like, comment, or subscribe if you like this video. Good luck with making money. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to your sign-by-sign breakdown and learning about what part of life this is going to affect. I can't remember if I said before, but I use the whole sign house system, and it makes it easy for doing these videos, and I use tropical Western astrology. Like I said earlier, I recommend that you go back and watch the Saturn, the Time to Grow Up video about Saturn moving into Aries, and the Spiritual Warrior video about Neptune moving into Aries if you would like more context or just a bit more information about this big conjunction. But it's at 0 degrees of Aries, and I also can't remember if I said it. If you have a planet or point that is at 0 degrees of Aries or Libra, my sun is there, or Capricorn or Cancer especially, this is really going to affect you even more, or in any at 0 degrees of most of the signs, also of Aquarius, Sagittarius, and I'm just thinking through Leo and Gemini. All right, so those ones will also be kicked off even more. All right, but it's a powerful new beginning for all of us and for the world. I wish you all the best. We will be traveling together on our planet Earth as we go through these changes. Go well, everybody. Send out good vibes to the whole world for great charity and compassion to bring up all of us, to bring us all up together, to move us all forward in practical and realistic ways. So bye for now.